Hello and welcome to another episode of Wednesdays with WV. This is episode number 52. And the guest on this show of mine would be somebody who started off as a prodigy and made his debut very early for Team India. And then he had a lot of ups and downs. And even today, people maintain that he could have played a lot more than he did. But that has not really faced him or that's not made him bitter because life by itself has taught him a lot of lessons and he remains the ever effervescent person that he has always been. The guest I'm talking about is none other than Maninder Singh, my contemporary from the under 15 days, and it's my pleasure to present to you Maninder Singh. Hello, Maninder. How are you? All well? And I'm sure that it'll be an insult if I call you Maninder each and every time. I'll call you Money after knowing you 43 years.
That's right. I was also thinking, why did you call me Maninder?
Anyway, let's go back to where it all started, how it all started. You are crawling, you are happy, and the next thing you realize suddenly you are playing for India. You are obviously one of the youngest to have played for India then, wasn't it, when you made your debut?
Yeah, when I made my debut, yes, I was the youngest. I beat, I think, Vijay Mehra's record, and I think that is what we really, when I started playing cricket, that is I exactly wanted to do, play for India. And when I got the opportunity, I was really happy. But sitting down now, I feel that if I had a couple of years of first class cricket, probably I would have been in a better state of mind to take the failures that happened with me as soon as I started my international career. But then as I've grown older, I've realized that destiny is one thing that you've got to accept, and I've accepted it.
Also, you had the expectations to live up to, that of filling the big boots of Bishan Bedi, isn't it? To put things in proper perspective, Bishan Bedi obviously belonged to the quartet and he had retired 2, 3 seasons prior to that. And it was huge, wasn't it, for you?
Yeah, but that was a mistake I really made because I, wanted to start from where Bishan Paji left, and he had 20 years of experience at international level, at first class level, and the great man was great because he wasn't great as soon as he came into international cricket, but with time, he started gaining confidence, and I didn't realize that, and the pressure. You're right, the pressure was so much that I took it all on me. I took it all on board, which didn't really help me because I was only 17 and a half, and thinking that I want to be the next Bishan Singh Bedi. Yes, that was my ambition, but I wanted to be the next Bishan Singh Bedi straight away because I was hearing it from every corner, and I started thinking that that's it. Now I have to start from where he left, but it doesn't happen that way, which we realize as we grow older.
On your first tour of Pakistan, you had three left armers, Ravi Shastri, Maninder Singh, and Dilip Doshi. Quite crowded, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But to be very honest, I wasn't thinking that I'm going to get an opportunity. I'm here with the team. Probably, I'll gain some, what do you say, confidence, staying with these, great cricketers. I was thinking Dilip Doshi is going to be the number one spinner, and Ravi Shastri was the all rounder. So these are the two spinners that are going to play. But I think Sunny Bai had other ideas, and they gave me opportunity to play straight away in the second test match. I played a couple of one day internationals as well. So yeah, it was a very difficult tour because at that time, the umpires, they weren't neutral umpires. There was no DRS. They were Pakistani umpires, and they were very open about it that you're not going to get these decisions here. When there were a couple of decisions for LBWs and silly points, they were pretty open about it. And once you realize at the age of 17 and a half that you're not going to get these out, then your morale goes down. And I think after the first or the second test match, that happened with me.
Talking about mindsets because of these factors that existed then, you obviously, even when you were playing, you'd always felt that the Democrat sword was hanging on you because you had Ravi, the all rounder, Dilip Doshi, the seasoned campaigner. Not a good space to be in. Yes, that is part of international cricket, but still at the start of your career.
Good space in the sense that I could have learned from the experience that they had because Ravi had also played international cricket. Dilip Doshi had played a lot of county cricket, a lot of international cricket, and what a fantastic bowler he was. So I really thought it. You're right. It did look crowded. Three left arm spinners in one team of 16 members. But I was really thinking that this is a great opportunity for me to learn from these people who played so much cricket, especially Dilip Doshi, because whenever used to see him bowl in the nets, I could hear that uh, first sound when he used to deliver the ball, and even though I had seen Bishan Paji, I had wanted to be like him, but whoever you see who's played international cricket, who's played so much of county cricket, and he's got so much of buzz in the ball, you think that I'm going to sit with him and I'm going to learn from him. How does he do that? Which I did, during the tour. But it was unfortunate that at that young age you get a tour of Pakistan, a difficult tour. The team was very good, plus the two umpires. It wasn't very easy. The life wasn't very easy.
As if these factors were not enough, you had to contend with the sleeping beauties of pitches you got there.
Yeah, at that time, you always got pitches where, the groundsmen, the curators had the authority to make the pitches, and not getting instructions from the captains or team management. So, whatever kind of pitch you get, you had to play on it. And I don't think anybody, because Pakistan, they had faster bowlers. They could have had green tops, but it wasn't like that. There were good batting tracks, and when you have the Javed Miandaj and Mohsin Khans, Mudassar Nazar, Imran Khan himself, and Zahir Abbas, the great cricketer, when you have those in the opposition team, then you start thinking that how are we going to get them out? Because the umpires have told you categorically that you're not going to get these out. And then, as you said, sleeping beauties on those kind of pitches. How do you get these greats out? So it was an effort. Not only the physical effort, it was a mental effort as well.
After this tour came the West Indies. It was like out of the fat and into the fire.
Yeah, the West Indies tour also. That was a great West Indian side. I mean, people used to think, and I've heard a lot of great cricketers also after I finished playing cricket, after I started doing commentary, that they used to think that how do we beat this team? How are we going to beat this team? And we were playing against that team. So it wasn't an easy tour. There were these great cricketers, who were very attacking. They had a different style of batting, different style of approaching the game than from the first tour that I had in Pakistan. So that was a difficult tour as well. And, Doubles, when you've played your first 5 test matches and got only 3 wickets, your confidence level is always going to be low. And my confidence level wasn't that high, even though I was bowling well. I was enjoying, because I always used to, one thing that I did when I was playing cricket, I used to think that the ball has to come nicely out of my hand. I want to enjoy that. That was my first and foremost aim. Getting wickets. I still tell, if I coach any kid, I tell them that if you're bowling well, you're going to get wickets. But unfortunately, on that tour also, I played the first 3 test matches, got just 2 wickets, and then I was dropped in the 4th test match. So it wasn't a very good beginning, because if you have a good beginning, then if you have a failure in the middle, it's easier to adjust and come back. But if you have failures right in the beginning of your career, and the first 8 test matches, if you have only 5 wickets, then it becomes all the more difficult.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. Two tough series back to back at the start of your career. Did it make you tougher or did it induce self doubts? What did it do to you?
Self doubts in the beginning, to start with, that am I that good, that or am I ready to play for the country? But then, started talking to Bishan Paji, started going to my coach, back to my coach again. And, like Bishan Paji, we all know he's a great motivator. He really motivated me. My coach always used to motivate me, and he made sure that I bowled for 2.5, 3 hours a day. And as I started doing that, I started gaining confidence, because this is what Bishan Paji also used to say, that the more you bowl in the nets, the more confidence you gain, which I didn't do later on when I started doing well in international cricket, which, that's a mistake I made. But yeah, I started bowling a lot in the nets, and I started gaining that confidence, and I started forgetting the first 8 test matches of my career. I think that helped me, and I started getting a lot of wickets in Ranji Trophy again, and that is why I got a chance to play for the country again.
Yeah, you made a comeback and then you went on the tour of England and you played regularly. It was quite a feat those days, wasn't it? A spinner playing regularly in England.
Yeah, I think I was bowling really well, and you know that I had that swerve, and in English conditions, that swerve was really helping me a hell of a lot because the atmosphere was like that. So I was bowling well in the side games, and that is why probably Kapil Paji, who was the captain at that time, he gave me chance over Shivlal Yadav. Because Ravi Shastri was in the team. Shivlal Yadav had taken 15 wickets in 3 Test matches in the previous tour of Australia in 1985. So I was really thinking that I'm not going to really get a chance because the captain or the coach is not going to go with two left arm spinners. They're going to have some variety. But I was really bowling well doubles, and I think that is why Kapil Paji chose me over Shivlal Yadav. And to be very honest, I really enjoyed bowling in those conditions. Thanks to Bishan Paji, who had given me a lot of tips. How do you manage in those cold conditions? Because I remember there was times when we started the tour, I used to go on the ground with 3 jumpers. It used to be so cold at that time. And Bishan Paji had told me that how to keep your fingers warm, your body warm, so that whenever you get the ball, you're ready for it. And yeah, I was getting, and the best thing was I was getting the swerve and I was turning the ball on those surfaces as well, because I have always believed that when there is moisture in the surface, and in English conditions there was always moisture at that time in the pitches, it did help me spin the ball as well, and that is why I got a chance. So yeah, it was a great opportunity for me. I did well. um, didn't work hard enough after.
That tour was one of the high moments in Indian cricket. Would you rate that at the top of the ladder in your career? You belong to a lot of good moments in Indian cricket.
See, that English team that we were playing against was one of the best English teams I've till date seen and known, because they were really doing well. And in their home conditions, to beat them 2-0, we would have won the third one as well if it hadn't rained. It would have been a whitewash. But to beat them 2-0 in their home conditions with that team, I think it was very enjoyable. And I think that was what was special about Kapil Paji also. That he said that we are just going to go for the kill. Even if we go 3-0 down, I don't care, but let's go for the kill. And that is exactly what happened. And I think the dressing room atmosphere in that 1986 tour was also brilliant. I mean, everybody was happy. We were like a unit. And I think that really helps in a team game.
I remember seeing bits and pieces of that because I was playing league cricket in England, and you had to display your batting skills on a difficult Headingley track to help Dilip get his 100.
Yeah, yeah. Doubles. When I was playing under 19 cricket, I used to bat 5-6 up the order. When I was playing for Delhi or North Zone, we went to the West Indies tour as well, to Trinidad and Barbados in 1981. Over there, also, I was batting at 5-6, and I was scoring runs. Uh, but when it came to international cricket, when I came into the Indian team, I think I started concentrating more on my bowling, and I think the batting took a back seat. But I used to have this confidence that a bowler can't get me out if I make up my mind, if I concentrate hard. But the only thing is, I wasn't scoring runs, but I was supporting my fellow batsmen who were close close to hundreds, like Dilip Vengsarkar. I think I've had 2 partnerships with him.
Yeah.
Getting 100 with Sunny Bhai once. So yeah, I mean, when the time came like that, when I had to have a partnership and I knew that somebody could get a century, then I would concentrate a little harder, that I'm not going to give away my wicket. I'm going to support my fellow cricketer to get to his 100.
Talking of playing in England, you played in the English leagues as well. Did that have an adverse effect on your bowling?
Yes, I think when you're playing league cricket, what happens is it's only Saturdays and Sundays. Sometimes it's only Saturdays, and the other 5 days, sometimes you don't know what to do. And I'm a kind of a person, when I had to live alone, I used to get frustrated. So I think that frustration took over, and it didn't really help me, because I was somebody who needed a lot of practice, because that is what my coach had taught me, and I got used to it. I had to bowl for 2-3 hours a day. 2 hours a day, 5 days in a week. I used to be fine. But what happened in England, I wasn't getting an opportunity to bowl for 2 hours or something, and then I wasn't getting quality batsmen to bowl against, which makes a lot of difference. And I think that had an effect on my cricket, my bowling.
Around the late 80s, you were really bowling well, but still, it wasn't smooth sailing, was it?
Uh, no, no. And as I said earlier when we were talking doubles, I said that I didn't really work hard enough as I should have because, uh, like Bishan Paji used to say, the more you bowl in the nets, the better you get. But what happened at one stage, I was bowling so well that if I bowled for 15-20 minutes in the nets, I used to feel pretty confident that I'm getting it right. The ball is coming nicely out of the hand. I'm getting that pivot. But slowly and as I kept doing that, bowling for just 15-20 minutes a day, it didn't really help me because when I didn't do well, my confidence level went down and I didn't really know how to get it back. And in that bargain, I think I lost my action as well.
Do you remember the ODI spell you bowled at Eden Gardens against West Indies?
Oh yes, oh yes. I can never forget that because I got injured in my left hand. My webbing
I
split.
don't know if you remember, that was my debut. I
I know.
remember that I remember that game more for your bowling than what I did there.
Yeah, doubles. I remember that because it was a happy moment for me because I played under 19 cricket with you, and when anybody from under 19 time played for India, it used to be a really happy moment for me. I used to feel really happy that yeah, we played together at under 19 level. Now we are playing together at international level. Yeah, I remember that game very well because it was a very good track to bat on. I was trying to stop a ball from Gordon Greenidge. He had hit very hard back to the bowler. Tried to field, and my webbing got split, and I started bleeding, and all this came out. So quickly went into the dressing room. There was the doctor there, and he just put whatever had come out the skin. He put it back, and he said, "You'll need stitches. You can't go back onto the ground." I said, "Listen, I'm in a very good rhythm. I want to bowl the next 3 overs because I had already bowled 6 overs. I'm going to bowl my 3 overs, and then I'll come back. And then you can do whatever with my hand." And yeah, I came in, and luckily I got Gordon Greenidge and Vivian Richards out, and we won the game.
Yeah, 10 overs, 2 for 18 against that side is something to be really proud
And
of
on
for
that
about,
track doubles.
yeah, it's something to be proud of for 15 birds, not one bird.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was very happy. It was a very happy day for me. Keeping the greats, the West Indian greats in control, and especially Vivian Richards, Gordon Greenidge, Desmond Haynes, Clive Lloyd. I mean, you name them and they were there. And they were all top cricketers, all top batsmen, and very, really hard hitters. So, yeah, it was a very satisfying day. The only thing that wasn't satisfying was that I had a few stitches on my webbing, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to play for another 3 to 4 weeks. That was a sad moment because I was in
Yeah,
such a rhythm that if I had carried on with that rhythm, probably I would have got back my confidence and the same confidence with which I have bowled in England, but it wasn't to be.
yeah, then after a break at the start of the next season, he also made it to the tour of Pakistan. And you bowled well there, but again, for some reason, you got dropped. That didn't really help your comeback trail as well.
Yes, see, Pakistan, as I said earlier, I don't want to keep repeating it, but it was always a very difficult tour because
One in 89 under Chika.
yeah, I went there in 89 as well. I went in 82, 84, and then in 89. But in 89, I wasn't bowling that well. But in 82, 84, I was bowling pretty well. And yeah, I was bowling well. But then you were bowling against, such great batsmen who were such good players of spin bowling and on those kind of tracks where there wasn't much help. And the umpiring standards were very, very poor. I mean, when you go into a match knowing that you're not going to get these LBWs, you're not going to get these small snakes caught at silly points and short legs, um, it is a little discouraging.
Yes, this is the World Cup time now. Let's cast your mind back to the 87 World Cup. It was a smooth campaign until the semi final. Was it disappointing or even, what shall I say, devastating even for you guys?
Yeah, it was it was disappointing. It was devastating as well because doubles. I thought it was a very good team. It was a very balanced side, and it's not only me. I think the whole unit thought that we could win this. We could win this because we had that belief because the Indian team had won in English conditions in 1983. and now we were playing in our home conditions. And I think everybody was doing well. There was a lot of confidence. And, the best thing about that team was that, when I said it was like a unit, we used to joke around with each other. We were having dinners together, lunches together, whenever we had an opportunity. And we would spend a lot of time together. And there was a lot of youngsters in that team, who were pulling each other's legs and enjoying it. That's very important. And the best thing about that team was that we were enjoying each other's success on the field. And when that starts happening in a team game, I think you start believing that we can do it, we can win this. So yes, it was disappointing when we lost at the Wankhede Stadium in the semifinals. It was devastating, actually, because whatever said and done, people talk about goods, batting, they kept sweeping, they got runs, but we just needed 45 runs in the last 10 overs with 5 wickets in hand. We should have just nailed it, but we lost it. I think that was destined to be. But I think that was a very, very good team, and we should have won that one.
But that equation of 10-45, 5 wickets, it happened at Chennai also against Australia, didn't it?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
same World Cup.
Yeah, yeah, it did. It did. I think Chennai has always had good games between India and Pakistan. There's some stars are set in a way where, whenever India and Australia play there, those games are always interesting, whether it's a test match, whether it's a tied test match, whether it's a World Cup match, whether it's a Sachin Tendulkar, Shane Warne, that's also history. So, yeah, Chennai has had a history with India and Australia whenever they played there.
The 1996 World Cup did not end well for us. But just tell me, because you played and you also seen about two World Cups after that, what is it like playing at home?
There's always pressure. There's always pressure. I mean, these days there's pressure whether you're playing home or whether you're playing abroad, because whenever you're playing abroad, there's so many Indians coming to watch you on the ground, so that pressure is always there. Whenever you're playing for the country doubles, that pressure is always going to be there. And in home conditions, sometimes the pressure that we used to get from the cricket lovers of the country, that you're going to do it, you're going to win it for us, we are all behind you. Yeah, that pressure is there, but sometimes that gives you a push as well, that there's so many people expecting so much from you, and you try and give more than 100% when you're on the ground. um, One thing that I want to say is that along with that pressure, when you're playing international cricket, you're thinking so much about the game, you're doing so much of homework, so that pressure doesn't really stay as a pressure, because you're so involved, you're so passionate about the game, that you're just thinking about the game. Because I remember a couple of times when I played at Kolkata, there were almost 100,000 people there, but I didn't realize that there were so many people watching the game there. And because you're so involved with the game, that you forget about, there's so many people watching. But when you're playing for the country, doubles you played, that pressure is always there on you.
Is there? Finally, it happened in 2011. Do you see a repeat in 2023?
I do. I do. I really believe in this team. And, in the first game when we lost 3 early wickets chasing a target of 200, a lot of people said, that's it. The match is done, because I was doing it, covering it on Doordarshan. And, there were people sitting there and they just got up and went out. I said, why are you going? We are winning this game. I think that's the kind of confidence this unit is giving, because it's a very balanced side. We've got Gill, who's injured. I hope he gets his fitness back, because he's in such a good form. I hope he recovers quickly, because he gives a fantastic balance to the team. But I still feel that the boys who are sitting on the bench are also good enough. I mean, Ishan Kishan got out early on in this game, but he's a material. He's a material. This team is a balanced side, and I can see, the previous time we won the World Cup after 20 years, 28 years. I think we're going to win it after 12 years this time.
Yeah, for the benefit of the viewers, I promise you, Maninder doesn't say things for the sake of saying things.
Yeah, I don't buzz, because I don't have that habit. I just say what is in my heart, and I really believe this team is going to do it.
Going back to Maninder Singh, how does he rate his association with Indian cricket?
With
With Indian cricket,
oh
you've been involved in various ways.
I've had a fantastic time, Doubles. I've had a fantastic times, even though I've not played much. I've just played 35 test matches and 59 one-day internationals. A lot of people tell me that you should have played a lot more. You were 400 plus wicket. You should have had 400 plus wickets in your kitty in test matches. But then I believe that there's so many who work probably harder than me and not even got a chance to play for the country, because my father always used to say that, whenever you look at somebody who's above you, you're going to it's going to disturb you, but see below you the people who worked harder, the people who are doing putting in more effort than you and still haven't got a chance, or whatever field of life. And I started doing that since my dad told me that, and I think that's helped me. So what I believe now in is that at least I play for the country, because that was my dream when I was a kid. I got a chance to play for my country, but I'm disappointed about disappointing my fans and the cricket lovers in the country, because now when I go back and see my videos, I really, sometimes I go, wow, this man should have played for longer.
Of course, you should have. Would you say that your tendency to get emotional
I
contributed
am
to
a
your
very
lows in cricket? Did it
I'm
contribute
a
to
very
your lows in
emotional guy, Doubles. I'm a very emotional guy, and that's not helped me in life, to be very honest. Because I get hurt with little things, and I get disturbed with little things, and probably that is why there were times when my confidence level also used to go down. Yeah, being emotional doesn't really help. I mean, you've got to be emotional. There's got to be a balance in being emotional and being practical. But I somehow have that weakness. But that's me. But with time, you do learn. Like I've started meditating to keep myself calm, to not to be that emotional. But I still get very emotional. But I can. It's how you handle it, because everybody's going to get problems in life. Uh, but if you doing meditation and all, you start learning how to handle it.
In recent times, a lot of top sports persons and celebrities have spoken about the mental health issues. What do you make of it?
Oh, I feel that 90 to 95% of us, sometime or the other in life, it's not only cricketers, Devils. It's we all human being need some kind of help from somewhere or the other, because you can't be in the same frame of mind all the time. So the problem that I faced was that I knew I needed help. I knew I needed somebody to motivate me, to talk to me, to let me know what all I need to do to counter my whatever problems I was having, whether in life, whether with my bowling, why my confidence level used to drop. But at that time, it was a kind of a myth that if you go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist to talk to them, that means you're mad. And I used to be scared of that because I had a name. So I was a little scared about going to anybody at that time, and it didn't really help. So I think you do need somebody or the other to fix you. Um, uh, Whoever you are, whether you're a cricketer or whether you're an engineer, whoever you are, you do need help at some time or the other. I'm really glad that some of the big cricketers are coming out in the open saying that they've needed help, like Maxwell. I think Cricket Australia helped him as well. Virat Kohli has spoken about it. So I think what is good about these bigger players coming out in the open about it is that if somebody, a younger player, needs help at any time, would be open about it. That yes, I do need help. I need to go to somebody who is a professional. That these things are going wrong with me. How do I fix it? Because I've done that. I did that after I stopped playing cricket, because I've got a homeopathic doctor, who's become a friend now. This lady, she got me into meditation, she got me into chanting, and she's helped me a lot. I mean, whenever now I have a problem, I just have to call her. Now I don't even have to go to her because she knows me inside out, and it takes her 10 to 15 minutes to fix me. So I think anybody who's shy of going to a psychologist, or it could be even your mother or your father. I hope people have a friendlier relationship with their parents, because we used to be scared talking to our parents. But these days, I think the parents are more friendlier with their kids. So it doesn't have to be a psychologist or a psychiatrist. You could speak to your dad, you could speak to your elder brother, you could speak to your mother, the kind of problems, if you're going through any kind of problems. And they'll definitely come out with a solution because they've got the experience. And I can say that with experience because with time, I've realized, and if somebody comes to me, if some kid comes to me that he's having this problem with his bowling and his confidence level is going down, I know what to do with him and how to fix him. So anybody, if he needs any kind of help, please take it. It's going to help you in life.
We spoke about you being emotional some time ago, but of late I've seen you that you're very quiet and not easily disturbed. Is it something of a conscious effort or it's happened over time?
It's happened over time, Devils. It's as I said, with the meditation and all, I started realizing that I was stupid, being temperamental, and losing my top with people, and not respecting people at times. I believe now, what I've learned with time is I've become calmer. I've started realizing that we are all different people. Nobody is going to change for how you want them to change. You can change. You can start thinking that you can't change everybody, but you can change yourself. And that is what I work on, and that has really helped.
Tell me, is that impish, forthright, emotional, fun-loving Maninder gone forever?
No. I still have fun. I still have fun in life. I mean, I still laugh. I still make people laugh. But I know where to stop. I've got a control now, because there was a time when if I joked around with somebody, sometimes I used to go overboard, which would hurt them. But now I know where to stop. So these things do help. The meditation and all do help. For you to realize where you need to stop and when. So yeah, no. My fun-loving bit hasn't gone. I'm still a happy kid. I was happy in difficult times as well, but I'm a lot more happier now because I've changed a few habits of mine as well, and that has helped.
Yeah, talking about the importance that captains have to be, talking about the role that the captains play in a spinner's career. You played under some great captains. Just break it down a little bit.
See, it's very important, if your captain is behind you, because I remember I played a one-day international in Pakistan on the tour of '82. Sunny Bhai, he came up to me and he says, he and Raj Singh Dungarpur, who was the manager at that time, they just told me, we are only playing you for fielding. So, if you get some overs, well and good, but don't take any kind of pressure. You're such a good fielder. It's a one-day international. We're going to play you because of your fielding. So that was releasing the pressure from my head, even though I only bowled 5 overs in that game. But captains do play a very important role. Kapil Paji was a very positive captain. He would just throw the ball up to me and ask me, what's the field you want? Shrikant was like that. Azharuddin was like that. I only played one test match under Azharuddin, and in 1993, that was my last test match. He threw the ball up to me and he says, what's the field that you want? When your captain does that, I think it makes a lot of difference. That goes to show that the captain has a lot of confidence in you. And my first season in Ranji Trophy wasn't good. When Bishan Paji was the captain, I played 3 games, just got 2 wickets. In the second season, Maninder Singh was my captain, and I think he was the best I played under, to be very honest, because he gave me so much confidence that I since I didn't have a very good season, the first one. Uh, it's the second season. I never thought I'll get a chance, but Mohinder Manat believed in me, and he used to just talk to me for 5 minutes before the match, at dinner, before the start of the match, and I used to feel I'm the best bowler in the world. So I think these kind of things are very important. If your captain does that to you, you go into the game with a lot of confidence and with a big heart. And I think a bowler has to have a big heart. And if your captain is behind you, it becomes bigger.
Finally, a word of advice to youngsters on cricket and life.
Ah, on cricket, I think the focus has to be on cricket, because these days, when you're playing cricket, there's a lot of branches. I think you are only known because of your cricket. And I want to give one example, and that's Virat Kohli. I think he's somebody who's learned a lot playing alongside the greats, VVS Lakshman, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, Virendra Sehwag, Gautam Gambhir. I think he's learned a lot, and change his work ethics altogether. Because when he won the under 19 World Cup for India, started playing, got into the Indian side, started playing for Indian side. I think he was more on the glamour side. He was enjoying that more, but he suddenly realized that cricket is what I'm known for, and he started focusing on the game. So any cricketer who's playing cricket, make sure that your focus, first and foremost, focus is on the game. And as far as life is concerned, I think you're going to have ups and downs. It depends how you handle them. And to handle them, I think you need to keep talking to somebody or the other. Whenever you're going down, whenever you start thinking negative, as I said earlier, whether it's your mom, dad, brothers, sisters, even if you have to see a professional, go to them, go for it. Don't be shy, because in life you're going to get ups and downs, and these people with their experience will help you.
Thanks a lot, Mani. It is always a pleasure chatting to you, and thanks for your time and also for appearing on the show at such short notice.
Thank you, Doubles. Thank you very much.
That was Maninder Singh, as always, forthright and honest in his conversation with me, and I'm sure that you'd have enjoyed it. And for all those who joined us for the first time, try and log on to the handle of Sportstar and catch up with all the earlier episodes. And for those who've been with us, keep giving us your feedback and send us your comments so that we are always aware of what it is that you need us to do in the future episodes. And going back to the people who joined us for the first time, press all the buttons that there are, like, subscribe, and whatnot, and keep joining us in the future too. So until I catch up with you next time, be good and stay safe.